Welcome to the latest edition of Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts, where almost no subject is off limits. Now, here are your hosts, Boomer Diane Faith and Millennial at heart, Stanley Roberts.
Ruh-roh. Everything's nothing. We're not on.
Nothing what?
We're not on.
We're not on?
No.
Why not? We are on. You're too much.
Do you like me today, this week?
Oh, you're all right. Matt B said, Stanley got swept away or shaken away.
No, but
not quite.
But before we get into that, we will talk about earthquakes and tropical storms and the wrath of God type thing. The wrath of God type thing. But before we get started, I need to make an announcement. Is that okay? Can I do that?
Sure. I have no idea what he's going to say.
So if you have been paying attention, after lots of work and determination, I got a letter from the Internal Revenue Service the other day that now makes Mr. Badley TV, not to be confused with
Mr. Badley Productions.
There are two different entities. Mr. Badley TV is now a nonprofit, tax-exempt agency. So what does that mean? That means that now I am vetted by the U.S. government to say that I can go out and shoot public service videos. And any money that is made from government agencies that want me to do a public service video for them is tax deductible. The reason why that is even important is very simple. A lot of companies, a lot of agencies, government agencies, will not do business with regular companies. You have to be a nonprofit. They won't even consider giving you the money unless you're a nonprofit. So does that mean I'm going to be out here soliciting money for to buy beds for people? No, that's not what it means. What it does mean is that when a county hires me to do some public service announcements for their county or city, or anybody who wants to donate towards the production of these videos, they can write it off on their taxes, I think 100%.
Cool.
Now, I still have to send my paperwork in for California. California wants everything to be different. They want their own everything. So the letter from the IRS came faster than I expected it to. And what happened when it came?
He yelled I was in the kitchen making breakfast, I think, and you yelled, and I was like, "What is happening? What's going on?" Because he never yells.
I never yell. So to see that,
he sounded excited
though. So let me explain to you why I was excited. Because it is very, very, very difficult. I will say the easy form to fill it out, and it says easy, is 90 pages. 90 pages, and everything has to be correct on 90 pages. Now, I know you're going, well, you hired a lawyer. That's your job to make sure that it gets right. I didn't hire a lawyer.
Lawyers are humans too, though, even if you did.
Yeah, even if they did, they still can make mistakes. I didn't hire a lawyer. What I did was I did it the old-fashioned way. I filled it all out myself. I went through LegalZoom and paid for their service, which wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like lawyer expensive. It wasn't $700 an hour. It was more like $700 for the form, and then we had to fill it out. So I went on the process of filling it out. Now, this was the frustrating part about this was I didn't get it right the first time. I didn't get it right the second time.
You didn't even get it right the third time.
I didn't even get it right the third time. But LegalZoom, if I can give them credit for what credit is due, would send me emails back and say, hey, you need to fix this, or this isn't right, or do you know what this is? And me being that, I'm like, well, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you guys do it for me? And then tell me, and they said, no, that's not how it works. You got to do it yourself. So I had to do the groundwork, and I started in March. Started in March.
Thanks, Big Bucks.
Thank you, Big Bucks. I started in March. Hey, LaShawna Nichols. Good, long time no talk to. I started in March, and no, I did not. It came, so Gabriel asked, when I first saw the IRS letter, were you afraid you were being audited? Okay, so just to be clear, it didn't come in the mail. So the firm I used to create the nonprofit keeps which is in Wyoming. They get all the mail, and then they send you an email saying, hey, you have a mail you have to look at. So I usually get those, and it's like, hey, this or that or whatever, and it comes to that agency rather than come to our house because God knows if people knew where we live at, it would be a whole different story. But I saw the letter, and it said IRS, and it said, we are pleased to announce.
Those words are always nice.
Those are the best way to start it off because I will explain to you, there are people I talk to who have been trying for years to get nonprofit status and haven't succeeded. It's really hard. And the easy is because I just started. If you already have it up and going, you can't do easy. And then you have to determine what your category is, which was hard to figure out because my category of public service videos isn't actually a primary category for nonprofits. Here's what I didn't know. Well, I knew this. Churches are nonprofits. So all the money you give to a church is tax deductible. Banks? Some banks.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know banks in general.
So credit unions are nonprofits. And I don't know about B of A, but they are listed under, they are LLCs. So the parent company is what the real name is. So some people list LLCs, so it was weird, but gratifying at the same time. But does that mean I'm good to go?
Oh, you closed the windows.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna it's burning up in here. Just FYI, it's actually hot.
It's hot here right now.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you left the windows open. I was like, oh man, I don't feel any air in here.
And I know you already thank Big Bucks, but thank you, Big Bucks Bradley, for the 99 cents.
The last time we talked to them, it was like 50-something degrees.
Yeah, today was really warm. We had all the windows open, and luckily where we live at, there's not a lot of traffic noise. So we can have the windows open and not hear fire trucks, helicopters, airplanes, oh my. But it gets warm because we don't have air conditioning.
Nope.
Air conditioning is not something we have in the Bay Area. So if God ever wanted to do the wrath of God, and we're going to get to this whole thing about wrath of God, all you have to do is turn the heat up in the Bay Area, and then everybody would just die.
Oh gosh.
Because not literal sense. But you're that. So remember when we first moved here a year ago?
Almost a year ago, yeah. It was like 90-something degrees.
Inside the house.
Yeah, inside the house.
That was so unbearable.
I remember when we were.
It was like we brought Arizona back.
When our sweat was like on the couch.
Well, actually, my sweat. I was actually sitting around in just shorts.
Yeah.
And not underwear, so don't get a visual. Like just regular shorts. It was so hot.
Well, now that you've told them to not get a visual.
Well, some people are like, oh, he's sitting around in his chonies. No, I'm not sitting around my chonies. But I took my shirt off because, at some point, it's funny. When it's wintertime, you can layer up. Extra socks.
Yeah.
You can put on, I was going to say extra shoes, but you can't put on extra socks.
Yeah.
You can put on
gloves.
Gloves, hat, earmuffs.
Sweaters.
But when it's hot,
you can't take off very much. You can take off and then you can't.
But then at some point, you can't take anything else off.
You can't. You can't take off your body parts, that's for sure.
Imagine that. I'll take my arm off so I can cool down.
Matt B says it feels like Florida down here in SoCal today, warm, muggy, and mildly rainy.
That's the hurricane.
Yeah.
/ tropical storm.
It's a tropical storm now, but.
So we have the ability, we have the ability to watch news in Los Angeles. So
I'm surprised you weren't watching my old station, though. I'm a little disappointed in you.
I've always been a big fan of ABC 7 in LA.
Yeah.
Even with the guy's name is
Dallas Raines.
Yeah.
Raines, even though
that can't be his real name.
Did it change it? I don't know. I didn't work at when you worked.
His name
LA,
is Dallas Raines, Raines.
I was thinking to myself, did he make that up because he knows the weather?
Chris says not dealing our typhoons. So okay, let's get to the wrath of God, earthquakes and tornadoes, and oh my, dinosaurs.
So just to be clear, you guys, we are in Northern California.
Nowhere we are affected by the storm.
We are in the Bay Area, so we are not in SoCal. But even though we're not in SoCal, we do have friends in SoCal. I've checked in with a couple of my friends.
Wait, how many friends do you have in SoCal?
That I still actually keep in touch with, probably like 3.
Okay, yeah. So you do fit the criteria of being in LA, because there's no saying that the carpool lanes only have 3 people on the 10, but the rest of them are 2 people. And the old joke is because nobody in LA has more than one friend.
Oh wow. Yeah, okay.
So you have 3. So you actually kind of fit into it. So you can all fit in the car and use the carpool lane.
All right.
Okay, fair enough.
But both of us used to live in LA, remember? But at different times.
It's a general y'all. What did I miss? Chris wrote, it's not specifically. It's a general y'all.
Because Chris said y'all quit stealing our typhoons. And he's not talking about us specifically. He's just talking probably about us being here in the U.S.
But see, here's the difference. A typhoon is counterclockwise. I mean, not typhoon. Yeah, typhoon is counterclockwise.
I've only experienced a typhoon, obviously, when I was in the Philippines.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know because it's south of the equator. So they spin counterclockwise. And here they spin clockwise. But since 1939, there's never been a typhoon. Thank you, my channel, for the $1 super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Since there is...
Oh, Gabriel says Dallas Raines is his real name, I believe. My grandparents live in Irvine and watch him every evening.
Well, I don't know, because he's had that name. I mean, he was a weatherman when I was like 5.
Was he? No, he wasn't. He was the weatherman when I worked in LA. Was he the weatherman when you worked in LA?
I know, I was 5 years old.
Okay, which would make you what now? 25?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, 1896.
Okay.
Remember, I've been here. I've been around before.
So, yes. So just to be clear, we're in the Bay Area, but he has the ability, or we have the ability, to watch LA news from up here.
So I watch it I've had it on live streaming since I have streamed. Yeah, okay. First of all, I'm obsessed with weather, but then while I'm watching the weather and watching the rain and how people tell people to stay indoors and everybody outside driving down the street, hey, stay indoors. Okay, let's go out. See, in LA, everything's the opposite. If they tell you to stay indoors, everybody goes out. If they say, hello, Mr. Bailey, this is Skunk. What's happening, Kenneth? Good to see you. Kenneth, his mom makes the blankets that we have.
Oh, hey.
So it's funny because everybody does the opposite in LA. Everybody does the opposite. If they say don't leave the house, everybody leaves the house. They say don't smoke weed, everybody smokes weed. If they say don't do donuts, everybody's doing donuts. They say don't go on strike, everybody goes on strike.
Is that just SoCal though?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
everywhere?
everywhere.
Because I feel like people can't do that.
Well,
too.
we kind of stay home when they say stay home. Okay, maybe not. Okay.
No. Okay, so I know Matt B is in SoCal. Is there anybody else in the chat that is in SoCal right now? Also, Matt B, how are you doing? Are you? I'm assuming you're safe because you're here and you're chatting with us. But are you cool? Is your family good?
Were you sucked into the crevice by the?
We're checking in.
Yeah. Were you? Well, apparently he can't be sucked into the crevice because he's on the phone with us right now.
Well, no, I know. I didn't say he was. I just said I'm assuming you're good because you're chatting with us.
That's my point.
Yes, but I just want to double check. He says it barely rained here. If you don't mind me asking, where are you specifically in SoCal? Because I know that when you were watching the weather, I think I overheard them saying that like most parts are going to get a lot of it
What's a wraparound
tonight.
It's a wraparound because Vegas got strangest thing. The storm was in Mexico area, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yet it somehow or another affected Las Vegas before it affected LA.
Well, I think because I was looking at the pattern. Oh, okay, you're in Mission Viejo. Okay. Yeah, because I was like looking at the pattern of it and it covers, well, because you said it was like 600 plus miles wide, right?
Mm-hmm.
It covered, like it reached all the way up to Vegas and then kind of like Reno and like, then it would go to like Central California, Southern California. But like here in the Bay Area, we kind of just missed it. We are kind of just missing it if it sticks to its path that they're.
I can explain why we missed it though.
Well, it hasn't actually reached here yet.
I can explain why it missed us.
Because our water.
No, because we have toll charges for our bridges, and the typhoon or whatever it was,
the hurricane,
the tropical storm did not have a fast track transponder, and did not want to pay the $9.50 across the bridge.
Oh my God!
I mean, do you blame it? You know, I mean, no one else pays, and it couldn't find another.
You think it really would pay?
It couldn't find another tropical storm to steal its identity, so it could go across for free. So it just went the other.
Oh my God, I cannot. Wait, Anon did say something earlier. He goes, typhoons and hurricanes are the same. I think you were thinking of cyclones.
Okay, cyclones, whatever. Don't correct me on public TV. Just kidding.
On public TV.
So anyway, all right. So you're right. Cyclones. Got it. So back to what I was saying.
I was just thinking of a song.
What?
Do you know what I'm thinking of? Okay, never mind. I don't remember how.
So back to so I'm sitting here on the couch with the windows open because it's like warm outside, and I was debating if I should go fishing or not. But then I realized if I go fishing, I'll never want to do this podcast because you know me, I get down there and 5 hours later, I'm still sitting there.
Yeah, you could possibly be like this.
I know. I caught chicken yesterday.
Oh God,
that was so nasty. I was like, oh, what the hell is that? I thought it was like a piece of fish that got ate up by a shark or something.
No, that was too big.
It was a whole chicken.
That was too big. I didn't know that people use chicken as bait.
Yeah, they throw it out in the net. But see, here's the crazy part. It's not crabbing season. So people are throwing the fish out there for crabs.
Or getting the crab illegally.
Exactly. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I'm sitting on the couch watching ABC 7 in LA. And then they go, I think we're having an earthquake. Yes, we're having an earthquake. And I go, now that is some crazy stuff. So, you used to say that the hot weather was earthquake weather. But now we say switch up and say it's the rain.
Well, it's funny because Los Angeles Times had a headline that said something like an earthquake in SoCal, yes, during the tropical storm or something. Yeah, like to say, because I got it as an alert and then I saw it online too. Like that was like their headline.
So it's like it came up as a 5.0, but then as usual they go back and reevaluate it and usually they downgrade it. But in this one they upgraded to 1.1 now.
5.1.
Yeah, I know 5.1. Now to give you a little, if you're not familiar with earthquakes, every point that you go up, the magnitude is increased like 100%. So every time it's a different magnitude. 1% can create more shaking. And there were some stories.
You're talking about not 0.1, but when it goes up like from a 5 to a 6.
5 to a 6 is a big. It's like 100% change.
Yeah.
But 0.1 is still significant because there were some stores in the area where in Ojai and we stayed in Ojai, the haunted house.
I didn't. That wasn't. No, I.
No, remember we drove through Ojai?
But we never stayed.
We drove on the fires.
Yeah.
So and we stayed in Santa Paula, but we had to go through Ojai to get to Santa Paula.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
oh yeah, the inn.
The haunted inn.
Mm-hmm.
So the stores had some damage because they said closed due to earthquake. And I'm thinking, man, is it a foreshock? But then it turns out it wasn't a foreshock because they had a bunch of warnings.
Well, I think also they had, didn't they have a quake earlier in the morning? I thought I was reading that the foreshock was the quake earlier in the morning.
Somebody wrote crab. Kenneth, it says my channel, but I wonder if they have a name. It says crabbing badly. Well, it's funny because and I'm gonna snitch right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna snitch. So warning, I'm snitching. So here's what happened. So I'm down there fishing, and people catch crab, and you see them come up with the crab because you see it,
Yeah, and people get all excited.
And then people run over, and there's a concerted effort to get crab even out of season. So you see them come in, and then you see a person come over with a bucket. They'll dump the crab in the bucket, or a bag.
Mm-hmm.
They take the bag out off the pier and they put it in the car. And then they come back and they wait till they catch another one. And they come in I see them come in with the nets. A lot of times the nets are to catch. People use the nets to catch the bigger fish because when you're up that high, if you had a 10-pound striper bass, it's hard to pull it up. So they get a net to pull it down and pull it up. But there's some people who are literally, you can tell they're crabbing because you see them put the chicken into the crab net and then throw it over. Or you'll see them fishing with something called snares, which is, I've caught crab with a fishing hook. Literally, as crazy it is, I've actually thrown my rod in the water.
With no bait?
No, and in one case I used some artificial bait.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I pull up and there's this big ass crab, and that's when it bit me on my finger and left the scar.
Oh, wait, let me see the scar.
You can't see it anymore, but it's right there though. Right there.
Pobrecito.
I know. So I never got bit by, they call it pinched. I never got pinched by a crab before. I don't recommend it.
I don't think anybody would want to recommend it.
I think I screamed like a little girl for a few seconds.
Did you? I missed it. I wasn't there for it.
Trying to get that thing off me. I'm like, how do you get this thing? Because it grabs you, it doesn't want to let go. And it's really painful.
So did you pull it off yourself or did someone help?
No, I had to shake my hand and finally he said, oh, look at this look at him crying like a little girl. And he let go. Wow. But it was a male. I caught a female too. And it had eggs hanging out the side of it. But and crab eggs. So a crab will lay like thousands of eggs.
But you put it back.
Of course I throw it back. I'm not trying to get it. You know how much a ticket is?
You ain't trying to break the law.
You know how much you know how much a ticket is for
like $1,000, right?
Like it's like $500 a crab.
Wow.
And it has to be the right size and it has to be in season. And this year they ended the season in April, which was a year sooner than normal.
Oh, the season ended in April?
This year. Because there's the fishing game is really picky about crabbing. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it starts late. And sometimes and then if you don't get crabs during the season, they're not local crab. Mm-hmm. They're usually coming from like what I miss? If I figure out, let's go. Oh, never mind. They're talking to each other.
Betty Veronica says staying long in San Francisco.
Yeah. So you know how it says market price.
Mm-hmm.
So and remember, Angel runs a.
Oh yeah.
So she runs a. She gets her crabs. She fishes. She boats. She has boaters. They go to crab season and get crabs locally.
Mm-hmm.
But when that runs out, they have to get the crabs from like Seattle, Washington State,
Canada too, right?
Canada. And then once you get it from that far away, guess what? The price goes up.
Yeah.
So when you see a restaurant that says market price, it's based on the market and what the market will bear at that particular time. I always ask. Some people are like, well, I'm too tough. I'm not going to ask for market price.
And then you're going to be surprised later.
Then you're going to be surprised. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Why is that so expensive? Well, because it's market price. And that's what the market can bear. So don't be a wimp. If you want to, ask them how much it is.
Yeah.
So here we go. Back to the rather not. So someone wrote to me and said, hey.
I want to see something.
What?
I didn't see this. Chris said something about typhoons and hurricanes earlier.
What did he say?
He said it can affect areas over 500 miles away. Whenever one gets within 1,000 miles of Hong Kong, we start getting alerts on our phones. Wow.
Yeah, because storms are big and they have outer bands.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm from the East Coast and we've had hurricanes.
You're from the East Coast?
I'm from the East Coast. I know it's hard to realize, and we would have hurricanes. I think Hurricane Betsy came through once. I don't know what year that was. There's a bunch of different hurricanes that come through, and we always gear up for it. We tape our windows. We put tape on the windows. You know why we put tape on the windows?
So to keep the windows from...
No, so when the glass breaks, it doesn't shatter into your face.
Oh.
It just breaks and sticks to the glass. So...
I'm mad at Laura Frieza. We're getting rain here in Vegas because of Clinton.
Well, it is called Hillary.
I know, but there is... What about Hillary Swank? Or like Hillary... Why has it got to be Hillary Clinton?
Well, have you seen some of the graphics on social media?
No.
It has a picture of Hillary's head going up the coast of California. And then wait, let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's jump into conspiracy for 10 seconds. There was one I read last night that claims that this hurricane is being run by scientists and they're making it go where they want to. And since it's Hurricane Typhoon or whatever you call it, Hurricane Hillary and Tropical Storm Hillary, that the scientists are making it go up and clean up, certain areas. But
oh gosh.
And you believe how many people would actually fall into that?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, Betty Veronica, there was an earthquake today. It was centered near Ojai in Southern California. Ojai.
So my cousin lives in New Jersey, Tracy. You remember Tracy?
Yep.
So there was an earthquake in LA. We were up here. We lived here. Earthquake in LA, and it was pretty sizable. And of course, whenever there's an earthquake in California, I get phone calls asking me, "Are you okay?"
Doesn't matter what part.
Doesn't matter what part of California. Are you okay? Because they assume that everything is like the East Coast and it's compact.
Yeah.
And so the one time she did it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you called me. We lost everything. I have nothing. Everything's been destroyed. And it was like dead silence. And she goes, oh my God. And I said, it's okay, Tracy. There's nothing wrong. We're 700 miles away.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's so mean.
So yep, and it was my joke of the day. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. We had an earthquake, but it is not the wrath of God. I told the guy who wrote that, oh, it's the wrath of God. And I go, trust me, if it was the wrath of God, it wouldn't be a 5.1.
I mean, a 5.1 is pretty significant, though. But like,
it's not
like a Loma Prieta
5.1
or the Northridge quake.
Is an alert earthquake. So you get up and go.
A 5.1 is. Like,
no, you go like this. You go. Are you laying in bed like this? Should I get up?
Remember, I did that too. We had a 2.6 out here, guys, but it was centered where in the city we live in. It was centered here, and I remember feeling it while I was laying in the bed, and I freaked out. A 2.6.
Yeah, no, and if you're a true Californian, you kind of ride the quake for a minute, thinking if it's.
I'm scared of quakes. I'm born and raised in San Francisco. I'm still scared of quakes.
If you're a Bay Area native, you kind of ride the quakes for a minute. And you go, oh, is this the real thing? Should I jump under the table? Should I? And you go, nah, it's cool.
By that point, it's over.
And nobody, and I won't say nobody because we do, have earthquake kits.
We do. Do we? Isn't our...
We brought an earthquake kit.
We brought an earthquake
in Arizona.
We lived in Arizona. That earthquake, well, at the time, it was like a monsoon kit, wasn't it? What do we have that? Why did we buy that?
Well, actually, why not buy it?
Because in case we had a bad storm.
No, because despite all the misinformation.
Oh yeah, there still are quakes in Arizona.
There are earthquakes there. They have something called San Francisco peaks. Anything that is a peak that could be a dormant volcano has the ability to have an earthquake.
Mm.
Flagstaff can have up to a 7-point
Oh
earthquake.
yeah. Well, when we were in Flagstaff,
There was an earthquake, yes.
Yeah, but the quake was in. I think it was centered in SoCal, wasn't it?
But no, Mexico.
Mexico, but people in SoCal and Phoenix felt it.
Remember sitting on the couch and I go, "Ooh, earthquake," and you go, "No," and the lamp's going, "Yeah, it was an earthquake. Yeah, it was an earthquake." And I go, "I knew it now, so it came up. You just felt that? It was an earthquake in Mexico." So and don't believe it or not.
Wait, how did we feel an earthquake in Mexico when we were in Flagstaff?
No,
too far
I'm talking about when we were in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
We felt that.
Oh yeah. Okay,
And then remember when we went to
Montana.
And then my knee hurt for like a longest time.
Yeah, and sometimes what he'll say is because his knee hurts, he'll be like, "Oh man, this is like because when he gets pain in his knees, it's kind of like, oh, there might be an earthquake." One day he said, "Oh man, I'm getting pain in my knee, like we gonna have an earthquake."
Wait, so
we didn't have one.
So Gabriel, aren't the San Francisco peaks in Arizona?
Yes,
we
San
said
Francisco
that.
peaks are in Arizona. Yeah, they're in
Flagstaff, which is Arizona.
That's what we're talking about because we were up in Flagstaff and when we lived in Arizona, he got an earthquake kit because of the fact that there could be earthquakes in Arizona.
I mean, I want to be the only person in Arizona with an earthquake kit.
You want to be?
I want to be.
Oh, no, I'm sure. Hey, Parrish, I know you live in Arizona. Do you have an earthquake kit? I'm wondering.
Hey, Sandra. Hi. Sandra's, by the way, that's family. Sandra Rizzo.
Okay. Hope all is okay with y'all.
Yes.
Hope you're okay, too.
They're okay. We're all right. So here's the deal with earthquakes. Earthquakes are a mind. I won't use the F word, but earthquakes are kind of a mind. What's another word I'm looking for? A mind.
Well, you want to say a mind F?
Yeah, but I'm going to use that F word.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think earthquakes are terrifying.
So, yeah, exactly. That's the mind. So here's how earthquakes work mentally. You have the first one. You're like, oh, and then you go. And then it goes, oh, hey, wait. Hey, did you like that earthquake? No, did you like it?
Because we've got some more coming.
Did you like it? Did you like it? I don't know if you liked it or not. On a scale of 1 to 10, how'd you like that quake? This is the earthquake talking to us. And then you're like, yeah, I don't like earthquakes. Oh, yeah, I thought so. Here, try this one. And then sometimes I've had cases where I'm walking and all of a sudden I get lightheaded. Mm-hmm. And I can't figure out, why am I so lightheaded? And then you realize the earth is moving. And sometimes it sways. And let me give you.
He gets excited about these things.
Let me tell you.
You guys notice?
Let me tell you a story about my very first earthquake.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we've heard this before. The Loma Prieta?
Yes. Where the ground went like this.
Yeah, you've told.
I've told, but not everybody is
not
there.
Everybody. Ow. Okay, that's true. Maybe not the same.
I'm not gonna use the exact same verbiage.
Okay, but that hurt me.
Sorry. So anyway, the verbiage. You got me saying verbiage now.
I didn't say verbiage.
Like this.
Oh, I was in my teeth.
Yeah, you just got there. Wasn't there before? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. So I'll make sure you're not sitting there. Oh, look, what is that on her teeth? And then it's like when you got to stand on your shirt and your shirt's going like this. Hi, how you doing? So my first earthquake was crazy, and without going back to the whole detail of everything of earthquake, because that was my first one.
1989 Loma Prieta.
At 5:04 in the afternoon, about to get off of work, and then the quake hit. And it was a shocker. But then the aftershocks that went on for days. And I remember we slept on the floor at my buddy's house in Marina. You weren't there at that time.
No, I was in San Francisco at that time.
And we laid on the floor in the kitchen. And you lay there and you hear the earthquake hit again, aftershocks. So it's a mind. It really goes after your mind because you don't know when the next. Because I use this to explain earthquakes and types and hurricanes and tropical storms. I use relatives as an example. So an earthquake is like that aunt that you know coming to your house is going to tear everything up.
But you don't know when.
But you just don't know when she's going to show up. She just shows up, tears your house up, and then leaves. That is an earthquake. Now, a hurricane is like that aunt that you know she's on her way.
She comes every year.
Every year she shows up, but you're not sure if she's going to make it to your house. So you see her coming up the coast. You go, here she comes. Here comes aunt or uncle or whatever it is. I know because they used to be all female names. Now it's male and female. Here she comes. Oh my God, she goes, and then you get prepared for it. And then she says, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to go somewhere else. And she goes out to sea. Then, and then you're like, and then she likes to do that trick to you where she's like, I'm not there. I'm not going to be there. Don't worry about me. I'm just a hurricane.
And well, like she's
And
in
then she
different categories.
Then
so she chills out a little bit.
Then she goes, checks in the Airbnb, and then she's good to go. And then one year she shows up, I'm coming straight to your house. And you're like, oh my God, here comes Aunt Flo. And then
why is it got to be Aunt Flo? You know, Aunt Flo is something else, right?
Okay, I realize what came out.
Yeah, Aunt Flo is something else or someone else. So let's not call her Aunt Flo.
So there has been earthquakes I remember in New Jersey, we've had them. So some religions believe that earthquakes are a sign of the end of the world because it says that the end will come, earthquake one place after another.
Yes, Jeanette. Yes, those big quakes always seem to happen early in the morning. I know the Ojai one, the 5.11 didn't, but like the quakes and the Loma Prieta one was actually in the
5 o'clock. Yeah.
But I always growing up because so my room like in our house. I grew up in San Francisco. My room was like always was in the back, and my parents were up in the front. And I would always like experience or feel those earthquakes in the early mornings. And they tell you hide underneath a table or stand in the doorway or whatever. I would hop out of bed, open that door, and run straight for their room. I would just dart.
Okay, pause 1 second for this brief inner. Let me just say something real quick. Inner. So if you're watching on Twitter right now, and you probably are, and you want to participate in the process, Twitter doesn't allow you to comment. So if you're commenting, I don't see them. Mm-hmm. But if you want to comment and we can read your comments, go to www.twitch.tv/Mr. Badly TV. Subscribe, it's free. And you can participate in the process. Or if you already follow me on YouTube, go to youtube.com/@Mr. Badly.
Oh, it's at?
Yeah, they do this weird thing.
Oh, I'm trying to like mouth it.
So then you can come on there and then you can participate, and you can, if you want to, you can contribute. We do take super chat donations. On Twitch, you can do bits. On Facebook, you can do stars. Stars are 1 penny for each star. So it's not like so if you give 10 pennies, you're giving 10 cents. If you give 100 pennies, you're giving $1. So I've never seen anybody give 1 million pennies. I don't think that's even possible.
1 million pennies is how much?
Like 10,000 or $50,000 or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm making you do math.
But if you decide that you want to donate towards Mr. Badly TV, then you need to make sure you include that and reach out to me later, and I will give you the EIN number so that you can contribute it to that. So all tax deductions through Mr. Badly TV, and that money goes towards public service videos and PSAs and traffic safety. And so what I've done is basically taken what I used to do as ride-alongs and turning into something that educates the public, which was an education public tool before.
Yeah.
But now I'm doing it so that way government agencies can get involved and they can have videos that they want. And they're not Mr. Bad.
They're not like caught misbehaving.
They're not
people
misbehaving
badly style.
They're not like that. They're actually just videos that help educate you and teach you how to, not get a ticket. And matter of fact, if you watch, I just posted a new video, and I'm not really clowning people. I'm more like talking to them and seeing what they're getting their side of the story. And People Being Badly wasn't about clowning people, but it turned out that people thought that you were clowning people because
I think it's also like how you you would talk to them very you would ask questions and it was their responses that would end up being funny because you would think if some of the people it kind of lacked a little common sense or had really weird excuses,
So okay. And now, again, if you want to join in, you can go to YouTube or you can go to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Mr. Badly TV, and you can join. I noticed last week I did this. A few people joined. Mm-hmm. So welcome those people as well. And But if you're on Twitter right now and you're like banging the keyboard trying to tell me a story, I will look real quick and tell you what you wrote. But we don't have that system here where we can see.
Banging the keyboard.
And if you're on LinkedIn, you also can join in the chat as well. So LinkedIn is a new feature.
Just make sure to specify what your name is because it only has
LinkedIn
user.
Yeah, it says LinkedIn user, and it's like Miguel Wong was on last week, and we didn't know it was him. And it just said LinkedIn user. He goes, LinkedIn user, I'm Miguel. Okay.
Did he say it just like that?
Just like that, yeah.
Okay. So let me catch up in the chat a little bit.
Right, let me see if anybody.
Oh, okay. Parrish was saying it was in 2017 that I woke up with with tidal quake. There was an earthquake in Salt Lake City. Okay. Oof. Gosh, I'm sure that was, especially if you don't like experience earthquakes. Like if you didn't grow up in California where they're like not the norm, but they happen regularly. That could be a little scary. Betty Veronica says was here for Loma Prieta and then moved to LA in time for Northridge. Oh man. So Betty Veronica, you got the best of both worlds then, I guess. Jeanette says 1971 Silmar San Fernando was my first big one. The aftershocks went on for months. Oh gosh, that sounds horrible. I didn't even realize that aftershocks could go on for months.
No, they go for years, and you get hundreds
years,
of years, get up to 1,000. Depending on how big the quake is.
Yeah.
You can have significant aftershock after that, so they can go on. They can last for a long time.
I know they can last for like days, but I didn't realize they could last longer than that.
No, there was a quake, I think Northridge, where they had an aftershock a year later. And they said, "Oh, I think this is an aftershock from Northridge quake."
Well, how do you determine it's an aftershock from a year later? That's beyond your scope.
That's out of my pay grade.
That's not beyond your scope.
Yeah.
You love earthquakes and you love weather, but you don't know all that much.
Right. I don't know enough to know how they can figure that out. I mean, obviously, if it's on the same quake line, then it's
on the same fault line.
Fault line, thank you. Then it could be an aftershock. And then there's.
Well, why wouldn't you just categorize that as a new quake along the same fault line? These are things I will have to find the answers to. I'm just putting them out there, putting the questions out there.
I love Anna said no one speaks of X. Yeah, we do. We're still trying to get created to the new X.
I mean, you mean Twitter?
Yeah.
I know it is X. Oh, so funny. Well, not really funny, but on my link tree, I was trying to do some updates, and you get to pick like if you want to put your Twitter X page on there. So when I did that, it said, "Do you want to pick Jack's version or Elon Musk's version?" So it's like, what do I want to pick? Twitter where it has the bird, or do I want to pick X?
Well, here's what's going on now. So they want to get rid of the blocking feature.
Oh yeah.
And there's big, once Twitter, I don't think Elon Musk realizes that when he tweets about something, the whole world like rumbles. Mm-hmm. So he tweeted.
Or maybe he does. He wants to stir the pot.
But he said that he was going to get rid of the block feature. And a lot of people said, if you get rid of the block feature, I'm done, because that's the only way to keep away all the trolls. Mm-hmm. So some of the people who are like there's a guy on there came out. He goes by the name of Cat Turd.
Cat Turd.
Cat Turd. He is a big Twitter person, and he does all the political stuff. He was moaning. I was gonna say mining. He was moaning about the whole block feature. So out of spite, I'm assuming out of spite, he got blocked.
Okay, but if the block feature is it's going away.
No, that's just it. He got blocked by X.
Like meaning to say his account no longer exists?
No, he got blocked. Twitter. Elon Musk blocked him.
Okay, but if Elon Musk is going to take out the block feature,
he's blocking anybody who complains about him taking away the block feature. I know. Don't ask me. I don't want to get blocked.
Are you telling me that shit?
No, I'm saying I don't want to be blocked. No, I don't want him to hear me and go, "Oh, blocking Stanley, blocking Millennial, boom."
But you just shushed me.
I just shushed you. Shh. Don't give us away. So anyway, he's blocking people for complaining about the block feature being blocked.
That sounds a little hypocritical.
I'm not saying a word. I'm not going to shush you.
Jeanette said I blocked Elon years ago. Oh, geez, not that guy. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Gabriel said I installed a Chrome extension that returns the X logo to the Twitter bird. I don't, you know what?
Oh, I want to see something. Does my phone still do this? Oh no, it doesn't. What my phone used to do, I have an iPhone. What it used to do was when you just open the home screen, it still had the bird, but then when you went to go click on it, it turned into the X.
That was the beginning. I had to
Yeah, it was the beginning. I guess they just trying to like warm you up to the transition.
Remember, X marks the spot.
Mm.
You know, X is where you find the gold.
Would you want to stop now? You're right. I do talk with my hands a lot.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of talking with hands, so I don't know if you saw a little skit we did the other day, and I need to add a disclaimer.
You gotta give some context.
I need to add a disclaimer. Please, men, if you're gonna try that on your significant other.
Well, first let's explain what the video is.
Okay, first
go ahead.
I explain the video.
Go ahead.
So the video is a cutoff switch for women, or for Diane, because it could be for men too. So just so we not sound to be very sexist. And so here's the deal. Diane is extremely ticklish
On certain areas.
on her armpits. And I know that's her weak spot. So whenever she does something to me, I go like this. And then her knees get weak and she falls to the floor. And I thought, you know what? Let's turn it into a skit. So we took real life and made it into a skit where it's a cutoff switch, where you touch her and then she goes down. Really, literally, when she went down, she didn't act. That was her really, there's some little switches there that make her knees weak and she goes to the ground. I kind of want to just walk by her every now and just go beep. But she always go beep.
And then I always end up kneeing him or something, using my knee as a weapon.
Yeah. She needs me once. She always needs me. You got that? Needs me.
Oh, so funny. Gabriel says that is why Diane always falls on the floor during the live streams. No. Yeah. That's because I'm laughing. But so anyways, so Stanley posts that and a bunch of people are like, well, I tried that, but my wife didn't fall. Instead,
yeah, one of my followers,
it backfired.
One of my followers in Arizona was like, yeah, it didn't work. And I go, no, dude, she's protecting her cutoff switch. You have to go back in there and try it again, right? And then he wrote back, you really don't like me.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So everybody is still really talking about X or Twitter in the chat. So Jeanette says, I blocked Elon at the same time I blocked the former guy and the right-wing folks. And then Gabriel says, how is blocking different from muting? Answer, blocked accounts can't see or interact with your account. Muted accounts can, but you don't get alerts that they have.
So you're right. They're kind of similar. Now, keep in mind that I thought that I was never a blocker. I was always a, let live and let live. Oh, you know me.
Live and let live.
Live and let live. So, in other words, let them do their own thing. I don't care. I'm not going to block you. If you want to talk something, I have nothing to hide. Go away. And then I fell into this rabbit hole of people that were attacking me for no reason. Still don't know why. It started February.
It started during Black History
Month. I wrote.
That's not funny. Why am I laughing?
I know someone wrote that I should be included in Black History, and then all of a sudden, I went down this rabbit hole of how I suck. Don't ask me how, but it was like a deep rabbit hole, and so then I realized that I got doxxed, everything else, everything just came out of nowhere. Don't even know why. To this day, still don't know why. So what I did was at that point was then I started blocking people, and but then I realized, here's my reason for not blocking. It's very simple, and this will answer a lot more questions. So the difference between blocking and muting is that if you block someone, they can't interact with you, but they can still write about you.
Mm-hmm.
So what that does is give them the ability to write stuff about you that is fraudulent.
Can you see it though? No, because you blocked them.
Well, it gives you the option of going back to see what they wrote.
Okay.
So, and unless they block you too, then you can't see it.
Too much drama.
So I learned that, through my interaction, that people were just writing random stuff. They were making up stories that didn't exist, that I had no control over. They were making fake tweets up, fake posts, fake messages, all that stuff was going on. And so I realized that, okay, blocking doesn't really fix it, but I don't want to deal with this anymore. So to not deal with it, once I block them, I don't see them anymore. And I don't really make an effort to go back and see what they wrote, but I do know that, and just to be sure, just to be clear, that if you're going to talk about me in a defamatory way, I'm not going to just let it be on Twitter. I'm going to take it to the authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't go backwards and say, I did this to prevent it, then it says, well, you didn't really care because you kept letting it go on. And that's how the legal system works. If you don't speak about it to someone or make an effort to tell someone,
Like put it on the record.
Yeah. Then it doesn't matter because you didn't put it on the record and it didn't exist.
It's like it never happened.
Like it never happened.
Because you didn't say anything.
Yeah. It's like if you go to the bank and you lost $30 and then you come back a month later because you lost 30 more. They, well, did you tell us about the last time? Well, no, I just figured, well, we can't give you money back if you didn't talk about it.
Yeah. It's like when I had the fraudulent activity on my account. Like, what if I had never called them to tell them, oh, yeah, like money came out of my account, but it wasn't me, then how are they going to do anything about it?
Now, muting is kind of funny because they still talk. It's kind of like if you're talking to me, keep talking to me.
Hello.
No, just have a conversation with me.
Hi. You're so cute.
And I mute you. Keep talking.
Hi.
Yeah, exactly. So you can keep talking, but I won't hear it.
Oh.
What did you just say?
Hello. Hi. You're cute.
I still couldn't hear you.
Oh, you suck.
Still can't hear you. So there we go.
All right, that's how it works. Okay, I'm not heavily on that app. I mean, again, I really try to be. To be honest, my favorite social medium is Instagram. I like that the most. I try to be on Twitter, but I think for me, the way that I post on Instagram is it's not like it's different from how I would post on Twitter. So it takes an extra effort for me to use Twitter. So that's why I don't post as often. So in case anybody follows me on Twitter, that's the reason why. I just Instagram and Facebook, since they're linked, my stuff on Instagram just goes to Facebook anyway. So
okay.
But
so thank you, Chris. He sent me an invitation to Blue Sky.
Oh, I never heard of it.
So Blue Sky is, I think it was created by Jack. I could be wrong.
Is it Dorsey?
Jack Dorsey, I believe he created it. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
Is that his name?
I think it's Jack Dorsey. Anyway, so Blue Sky doesn't have a lot of features yet, but it's interesting.
Yeah, Jack Dorsey, he says.
Yeah. So, yes, I am on there as Stanley Roberts. I know it's crazy using my real name.
I want to go back to something real quick because Betty Veronica was referring to when we were talking about this.
Oh yeah.
She says, back when I was a young lady at my very first female appointment, the doctor felt my abdomen and I couldn't stop laughing. So I mean, we all have our spots, right? I just don't know. It's my armpits, but then it's also I shouldn't actually be telling people where I'm ticklish at. Yeah, my armpits. I have one other area. It's not like a private area or anything, but so why did I even say that?
I don't know what an abdomen is. Just kidding. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, Gabriel.
I'm about to throw the sweat off my forehead.
Did you even hear what I said?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I let it go.
I should too.
Yeah. So she's ticklish in a few spots. I know the spots. So, but I know that she's also.
I'm violent though.
She's Elaine. She's Elaine violent.
Elaine, Seinfeld. She gets violent when she gets ticklish.
No, when she dances.
No, I don't really. I don't get
violent
like that. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You be like throwing elbows. You be throwing them bows. If I don't watch out, I might lose a couple of teeth. Just because I tried to. What happened? I tried to tickle her. She and the arms just went flying around like crazy.
She just threw them bows.
Threw them bows. So, anyway, I still call it Twitter. Sorry, Linda and Elon. Who's Linda?
Linda's the
new CEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, you're behind then because that post is old.
I know. I'm reading downwards.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Jeanette says I never got an invite to Blue Sky. Got invited to Spoutable and Post News. I've never heard of those. I don't post much on Instagram anymore. I'm mostly on Post and Mastodon.
Well, now a lot of my videos I've been posting on Newsbreak and getting significant traffic on them. Just no significant income, but no income at all, but significant traffic. I mean, some of the posts are like, I put that one I did yesterday, and it literally, what?
What?
Oh, you were touching me. I was like, what? Was I doing something wrong?
No.
Oh.
I just wanted to hold your hand.
Oh, okay.
They make it all awkward and stuff.
Well, you were like this. I was like, what is she doing? I was like, what are you doing? So I'm like, you see this finger, like, what is she pointing at? Because we give each other signals under the table, like when I rub my legs.
Yeah, when he rubs his, because that's part, when you rub your legs, that's something you do when you talk. And I don't know why. So I will gesture to him to like stop. But I went to go grab his hand so I could hold it. But I used just my finger and he got confused.
I was throwing up confused. I was like,
anyway.
Hillary, tropical storm confused.
What?
What?
Oh my god. All right. So, anyways, I'm sorry I interrupted you as I was going to grab your hand. What were you saying?
I forgot.
You forgot already?
What was I talking about?
Who were you talking about?
I don't know. I forgot.
I'm not sure. Did Diane just mouth a swear word? No.
Yeah, she did. Oh, she sure did.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah, you said the F-bomb. I heard it. I saw it. I was like, I'm not
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you said, what the? Yeah, you did. You literally did. You don't even know you said it.
When?
2 minutes ago.
In response to what?
He can tell you. Gabriel was watching everything. He'll play it back to you in slow motion.
I did?
Yeah, you did. You straight up mouthed it. You straight up mouthed the F-bomb.
I don't even know. I guess I did.
Yeah, I saw it, but I tried to play it off like, nope, she didn't say the F-bomb.
No, but I didn't say it.
Wait, speaking about F-bomb, we haven't heard from David F-bomb in a long time.
We haven't.
Yeah, I think he deserted us after he got into an argument with somebody on YouTube or whatever.
Oh, I don't even know what I feel like we talked about this like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I still don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. I just know he had a discussion, and we were a part of it, and then all of a sudden he just, bing, goodbye.
There goes the family-friendly content. You guys, I didn't even know that. What was that in response to?
We were talking about me and the finger and whatnot.
Oh.
And how I don't know. You just said what the, and I said something probably bizarre.
As always.
As always. So this has been an uneventful podcast. You know why I say uneventful?
Why?
Because remember, so we've had someone who figured out they were trying to hack our podcast.
Oh God, don't put that out there.
They were, and they would come up on our screen, and then I changed the thing. And then speaking about that, so every time we do this, someone tries to prank call us. And
she was mentioning.
Huh?
Betty says maybe she was mentioning David F-bomb.
No, but it made me think of F-bomb because you said that. That's where F-bomb came from.
Yeah, you dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah, because you kind of like you mouthed it.
Oh, I didn't even realize it.
Oh, I realized it. And then Gabriel.
Well, but did I say it though?
No, you mouthed the
F-bomb. So then we're still cool.
We'll
this
see.
Is still a family friendly This is still family friendly content.
I'm not sure because one day we got flagged for it wasn't appropriate for family.
We get flagged all the time.
All the time. Oh, yeah.
But we don't get flagged for a specific reason though. We just get flagged.
Flagged because
We just get flagged because it's you.
It's me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking about flag, so I just found out something a unique feature that I did not like. So remember how a long time ago, Kron made it so that I couldn't make money off of Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also realized that if you tag me in a picture with people behaving badly on Facebook, they won't let me see the photos. Because one of my buddies posted about me with a picture of him and I, and then tagged people behaving badly. And the
like
picture,
a hashtag?
Hashtag. But the picture, when I went to look at it, said you can't see this picture. It was locked.
So they blocked you from viewing
seeing the picture of myself.
Hashtags?
Yeah.
And that's still a thing. And you haven't been at Kron for 5 years.
Yep. Can't see anything that says if you hashtag people behaving badly on Facebook, I won't be able to see the photos.
Oh, Kron, give it up.
So there we go.
Give it up.
Because I called my buddy today. He goes, "Yeah, I can't see the photo. I don't know why. I just hashtag."
Can you use the phone again?
No. No.
Oh my gosh.
Just don't become family bloggers. These channels are bad What's we not
family vlogger? What's that? What do you mean? Like when we like do videos of like us traveling or something?
No, I don't know what that is. I looked that one up now. I want to know. I want to know.
Are the hackers able to hack donations, Biddy?
No, not at all. So the donations, keep in mind, in America, I say America because I don't know about other countries.
America.
They make it very, very, very stringent rules for putting money online. So when I first had we8there.com, I received notification that we didn't reach a certain criteria for our donations, or not donations, for any money transfer through the site, that we would be penalized every year. They were really strict about that. So with donations, no. But we have an address now that if you want to send a donation through mail, you can. Do you want to tell them the address?
I think they should just DM you and you should send it to them.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we have an address now that you can use, and then if you want to mail us something or send us something in the mail, we now can do that, which is cool.
Jeanette says you should have sued them for defamation, slander, and racial and age discrimination, because that's exactly what it is.
Well, the problem I have with that is that I had a very good attorney. But the cost of doing the lawsuit, it wasn't pro bono. I had to pay, and it was something around the range of $500 an hour.
Dang.
Yeah, exactly. So $7,000 into it, I realized it was not sustainable. I just couldn't sustain that amount of money coming out, because I just moved to Arizona, and we were just trying to figure things out. So
God, I can't believe you couldn't get that money back either.
No.
Nothing came out of it.
No. So all I could do was, not knowing the amount of damage that was done when I left, all I did was just dig in and try to do what I could do best. And so right now, what I can do best is I created a nonprofit for public service videos. I'm taking what I've learned and making it and keep moving. I can't just give up. I can't throw my hands in the air. And I do appreciate, there are people who support me 100%. When I say I support, for example, when I had the stroke, there are people who donated to a GoFundMe that I didn't know was made up. Someone else made the GoFundMe up, and they made donations, and that helped me a little bit with things like that. Ironically, when I had my stroke, I received nothing from my old station to help me when I had the stroke, except for they promoted that, hey, Stanley had a stroke. When he comes back on TV, we'll show you how he's doing. So they never really did anything to help. They didn't participate in the process, except for the GM showed up at the house I was renting a room from to see, and then they served me with the letters to give them the domain over people behaved badly, which I didn't sign. So
wait, they came to the house. He came to the house to.
It was a she.
She came to the house to give you the papers?
I was served twice. No, they didn't come there then. That would be kind of tacky.
I was gonna say that was really.
So.
Oh man.
So here's what people don't know. So before I left a long time ago, I was served papers from Crown. The papers they wanted me to sign over the intellectual property, IP, to them, which meant what?
That they would own it, right?
Right. They didn't own it.
Yeah, you owned it.
Right. So by me signing over the intellectual property, that would give them the right to ownership.
Yeah.
And that's when Tyler, I can't say it, Payco stepped in and said, hey, prove to me that he had a contract, and then you can have all the content. Well, they couldn't prove it because there was no contract.
Yeah.
So again, I'll say it again, there was no contract, so they couldn't prove it. So then it went away. And then the GM at that time, Ashley, went to another station and she left. So then they brought in a new GM. Still nothing. And every GM I talked to have promised that they were going to give me something in writing as well, so I could make sure that we were on the same page.
And it never happened.
Never happened. They all get, oh, wow. And then they would get every out of a job, they would go out and someone else would come in. So they didn't really care about what I had, because when I finally got an agent to try to find something better, because I just felt like I felt under appreciated, right. So my agent finally reached out to them and said, hey, Stanley Roberts, he's trying to get a little extra money so he can do this because it's a lot of work and it's hard to live here. And they told him, her exact words were, she called me up. I remember because I was in shooting a story in Walnut Creek. and I was on one of those canals walking down there looking for like illegal dumping stuff. And she said, I just got off the phone with Kron. I said, so what they say? They said that you have zero value to them whatsoever. In other words, they're not going to offer you anything because you have no value. So there's no reason to make me an offer because I was valueless to them. Despite the fact that I've done almost 2,000 stories, they didn't care. So then that just escalated everything. Like, okay, well, if they don't care, then why am I doing this? But I cared enough to do my stories. So I kept doing them. And then, but then I had the agent, Dana Adams was my agent, good person. And then I talked to your boy, what's his name, at your old station?
My boy?
Yeah, he did the consumer stuff.
Oh, not consumer, the investigator?
Investigative stuff.
David Goldstein?
No, I'm talking about in Arizona.
Oh, at my old station.
Yeah,
oh, I thought you were talking about in LA.
Joe Ducey.
Joe Ducey, yeah.
Yeah, so Joe Ducey reached out to me and said, hey, they're looking for someone to do what you do in Arizona. I'm like, really? And so I called up my agent and said, hey, I think they're trying to do something in Arizona. She called up your station, the old station, ABC 15.
ABC 15.
They said not them. Turns out it was CBS in Arizona. And I talked to the news director. He called me up. We talked on the phone. And he said, look, what you're doing is perfect. We want you. But I don't want this to be a case of you going back and forth to get more money. I said, I'm not trying to get more money. I'm just trying to feel appreciated. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to feel like the work I was doing.
You wanted to feel like you got paid for the work you were doing.
Keep in mind, so appreciation is a little bit deeper than just the station appreciating the work. So when you do this segment, I got for a fact, I got so much hate mail. So imagine getting tons and tons of hate mail from trolls and haters and whatnot, and then also not feeling appreciated at the job you work at. So you want to do something that's going to make you feel appreciated, which is what I did. And so I got offered the job, and then the first thing he said to me was, you're only trying to leave because Gary's leaving. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to leave because Gary's leaving.
Oh my gosh, your thing had nothing to do with Gary Radnich.
I just want to check with you, Mr. Badley. I'm glad that you guys are doing well, and God bless you, and good night. Good night, Kenneth. It was good to talk to you.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. So,
no, Gabriel, it's Joe Ducey, not Juicy.
Joe Ducey.
He says, I know you didn't just call him Joe Juicy.
No, Joe Ducey.
Joe Ducey.
So, and then, so here's where it got even crazier. So you're right, and Jeanette said there was a management change. So during the first version, it was Media General.
I'm laughing at Betty.
So when I went to the first paperwork, it was Media General.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put it up for sale, and then they made a reel of why they should sell the station. Now, when you have something of value with a station, you put everything on that reel so you can sell it, right?
If you on it?
If you're trying to sell a house, right, and you had a pool, an Olympic-sized pool in the backyard, would you include the pool or would you leave the pool out?
Include the pool.
Why?
Because that's an awesome part of the house.
Okay, so if the car came with a Bentley, if the house came with a Bentley, would you include the Bentley or leave it out? If it came with a Bentley.
Well, if it came with it, you include it.
Why?
Because it's a Bentley.
Okay, so I watched the entire video.
And they didn't have you in it.
I wasn't even included in it at all. Not even slightly. It wasn't even a mention of the segment. You would think that there would be a mention that, oh, by the way, we have this award-winning segment called People Behaving Badly. It was never mentioned in the reel that they sold, and they sold it to Nexstar. So Nexstar bought the station, didn't even know I existed, didn't care. And so that's where we got to that point. So the point I'm trying to make is that I was a afterthought until I said, ooh, I was just offered a job in Arizona. And my agent said, you should just leave and don't even give them a chance. And I said, no, I think it's important that we give them a chance to, counter. It's only, I mean, I love the Bay Area. I didn't want to leave the Bay Area. The Bay Area is like, I love this area. I mean, despite its flaws, and every place has a flaw, I love the Bay Area. It was great. I enjoyed the people. I even loved it when people would grab me in the middle of the street and ask me would I make a voice, would I put my voice on their voicemail? So I'd be like, hi, thank you for calling. This is Frank. Well, actually, it's not Frank. This is Stanley Roberts. Pretend to be Frank, but Frank's not here. But don't leave a message. Well, wait, if you don't leave a message, then that's behaving badly. So leave a message after the beep. And so I would do this for people. Some people may start that message, I don't know. And people go, you should charge for that. I wasn't trying to charge. And I didn't charge for YouTube. I wasn't trying to monetize YouTube. I wasn't trying to monetize Facebook. I was just happy to do the segments. And here's the best part. The videos that were put on YouTube, I didn't get paid for that. I didn't there was no paycheck surrounding me posting videos. There was no paycheck around me getting all the hate from people. That was my personal YouTube channel. I had Brooke on there, I had you on there, and it all went away all at one time, like it never existed. So, long story short is that we're back in the Bay. I'm continuing what I've done, but I'm doing it on my own. So no one can steal the content we own. We're in the process of doing it. I mean, the nonprofit is just one of many facets that we're doing to create an atmosphere where we can educate the public. Because I meet people, even today, who say, when I was a kid, your videos really helped me. When I was a driver, your videos really helped me avoid getting a ticket. I didn't know that law even existed until I saw your story on it. Thank you for helping me out and teaching me to be a better driver. It wasn't about making fun of people. It was about trying to educate people to avoid them losing their money. And I've told cops when they write tickets, when you write one ticket, you're educating one person. When you write tickets and I'm with you with a camera, you're educating hundreds, maybe thousands of people. And now because of that, we have viewers in Switzerland, which he hasn't shown up yet, but I'm sure he'll be here.
Sweden.
Right?
Yeah,
no,
Sweden.
Sweden, not Switzerland.
Is it Switzerland?
No, it's Switzerland.
Oh, it is Switzerland.
Yeah.
You're right.
Switzerland, Hong Kong, China, Africa, all over the country, all over the world. I know. Iceland, they all follow me. And it's weird because when I left crying, I expected my social media to just fall off. It actually grew. I'm like, why is it growing? That's not how it works. Now, keep in mind, I didn't make any money off of any stuff I did other than what I did for TV. When I work for a TV station, I'm not trying to make supplemental income because I'm working for a TV station. I'm dedicated to the work I do for them.
But they weren't dedicated to you.
Right. Who watches from China, Africa, continent, or Iceland? They do. They have something called the internet. I hate to break this to you, Gabriel, but there's the internet. And Chris can vouch for that. And so here's what I found out, though. And then we're going to wrap this up because it's already 1:11. It's important to wrap this up. Is that the craziest thing I received was when the YouTube channel got deleted, I was contacted by people who owned traffic schools who said that all my content went away and now they don't have any more content for their classes. Can I give them the content so they can run their classes? So they were mentioning me in church. Remember one of the reporters sent me a video that in church talking about don't behave badly.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a significant impact. Without any question, it was a significant impact for the work I did. And so I'm slowly getting back into it and I'm having fun. So, but that's the story. I mean, people have you believe that there's rumors that I retired. I never retired. That wasn't it. I went to go in Arizona. I got fired. I wasn't fired.
Nope.
I mean, people made up their own rumors for everything. If they didn't know, they just made stuff up. That's fine. That's what we do on the internet. We make stuff up. And but it is what it is. Do you agree? And you were with me, so you know everything.
Yeah.
So
when I hear the story over and over again, I get bothered. That's why I'm silent.
But
I'm just like.
But you know that everything I'm telling you is exactly because you saw everything. You even saw the right. Now, here's the final note. Normally, if a TV station or any company has a problem with anything you do, what do?
They let you go.
No, they send you a bunch of letters, bunch of mail, telling you, or they give you a bunch of letters telling you how you this or how you that. How many letters did I receive?
Nothing.
0. Just got blocked and act like I didn't exist anymore. So there you go. So yes, you can argue age discrimination. You can argue this or that. You can argue all day long on what it is, but when it boils down to is that I have to feed the family. I have to make sure we have a roof over our head. I can't wait for people to argue about who did this or who did what or when, where, and how. I don't have the option for that. Because the bill collectors will be like, hey, I saw what happened. Don't worry about it. It's all good. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Never in this real world does it work where the bill collectors understand. As a matter of fact, they seem to know when you get paid. Because as soon as you get a paycheck, they show up.
Call.
And hey, I just saw you got that check. What you gonna do with that? You know, you got this outstanding bill. And then one guy the other day wrote to me. He says, now that you're a nonprofit, can I write off the money I donated to your stroke?
That was like years ago.
I mean, 8 years ago. You could have wrote that off back then. I mean, that was your GoFundMe, the nonprofit.
Yeah, GoFundMe. You could have wrote that off in 2015.
Yep. But hey, what do I know? Does Cron ratings give you the last laugh? I don't pay attention to Cron's ratings, to be honest. I don't even watch them because
we don't watch them.
I mean, I would rather watch news in LA or news in some other country before I watch Cron. No disrespect. I like the people that are there. Pay more.
And we both worked at Cron.
We both worked at Cron. I just, I don't want to wish bad on anybody, but they wish bad on me. And that's not cool. So that's the whole story in a nutshell. Anything you want to add to this before we wrap this puppy up?
No.
No, about anything else? Like you want to end on a lighter note?
No.
No? We gotta eat dinner. We didn't eat dinner yet.
Yeah, we didn't eat dinner yet.
It's cooked.
It's because we both took a nap before the podcast. It was a long day.
Jeanette wrote, if it's not for people behaving badly and corporate behaving, I wouldn't have created the stuff I do. And 7 years later, the city of Albuquerque is finally taking notice. It takes a while for people to notice, but I will tell you this. So if you want to know the impact that segment had, or even caught misbehaving in Arizona, so there is a thing on YouTube called Fridays with Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a ride along with Frank Shoup, who is a state trooper for Pinot, not state trooper. He is a traffic
GPS, right?
No, he worked for Pinot.
Oh,
no, not Pinot.
No, Pinal
County. So the PIO that works for them used to work at Cron.
No.
I mean, used to work at
AZ Family.
Thank you. So we do know that is an offshoot from that. So the idea came from people from caught misbehaving. Now here's another one. Remember the show Cart Narcs? That is also a spinoff. I didn't get any credit for it from people behaving badly.
When do you ever get credit though?
There are a bunch of shows that are out there that came from my show, and there are people right now like Jeanette who are citizen journalists. I mean, citizen journalists have been around forever. That's not new, but it became. I kind of gave it new life. And so there's the JJs and all these people who are mimicking what I do. They know how to have no saying that I can teach you how to make. I mean, you can make the soup, but if you don't have all the ingredients, it doesn't come together. Excuse me. I have all the ingredients that make my show work. I'm not going to tell people how to do it because that's not my job. They're trying, but I'm not going to make you a clone of me, because then why would I want you to be a clone of me when I can do my own thing?
Yeah, everyone has their own style.
So if you want to see some of the work, go to MrBadley.com, and also the videos are linked to my YouTube channel. But also, if you're interested in nutritional stuff, you now have after 15 years of news producing, you are now doing.
Oh, now I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner. So I work with people through holistic nutrition to help them become like the best versions of themselves. Because we all know that we live in an age where it's fast paced and we have low energy, and our health is important.
Most of us don't eat right. We don't do the right things. We tend to overlook ourselves until we get sick.
So you tend to wait until you get sick?
Until you get sick, and then you go, oh, I gotta find a doctor. But a lot of it's preventable.
It can be, yes.
It can be through nutrition.
It can be
and
through nutrition, through lifestyle changes, for sure, right. Yeah.
And you're not offering a diet pill.
Nope.
You're not offering a diet plan.
I'm not even offering a quick fix, because a lot of these things that happen to people, these symptoms, they didn't happen overnight, so you can't fix it overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Great. And so how do I find you?
NourishMyHeart.net.
Is that on Instagram?
No, it's my website.
Say it again?
NourishMyHeart.net.
So what is NourishMyHeart.net? What is NourishMyHeart_?
NourishMyHeart_ is Insta.
And what about NourishMyHeart Twitter.
Nourish My Heart, Twitter.
Oh, we don't have Twitter.
Nourish My Heart _ Twitter too. I mean X.
All right. So yes. So if you do better eating, you'll notice a difference in lifestyle, right?
Well, would it? Parrish said, or you go to bed too early and sleep too long, and next night you have a sleepless night. I mean, that can happen. That can happen. Sleep is very important. We a lot of the times underestimate our sleep too. Like, I know that like the last couple of nights I didn't get great sleep. I had interrupted sleep, and I can feel it the next day, which is why I took a little bit of a nap today before the podcast. So bye, Terrence. So it's all about listening to your body too. That's a very important thing, and that's something that I help my clients with, is like learning how to listen to your body. We don't listen enough because a lot of the times we're just like on the go, and we think that we need to be productive, and obviously we need to make a living, so we have to go to work and do the things, right? But there's also the time where we have to really take care of ourselves and listen to our bodies. So
exactly. So based on that,
and listen to your body and drink plenty of water.
And water.
Hydrate. This morning, and I said, I can be mad at you, but like you just know what you need to do. Oh, he is wrapping me up with the music. Okay.
No, I'm just letting people know that we're about to get to that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. For the last couple of weeks, I've had anxiety, which has been killing my sleep. Yeah, I can totally. Anxiety is a big one. Parrish, if you're going through some anxiety, if it's something you specifically know that there is, if there's like, I mean, obviously there are different degrees of anxiety, but if there are anything you can incorporate to lessen that anxiety, I advise you to please do so, because sleep is super important. Sleep is when we detox, our body goes through detoxification.
Some of these detoxes all the time, because I fall asleep in a heartbeat.
Well, I mean, you're a unique character, but sleep is when we go through the detoxification process. So if you're not sleeping long enough, or getting good sleep, or getting deep sleep, you miss out on some of those processes. Also, eating too close to bedtime too, your sleep will be impacted because it's still focusing on digestion versus detoxification. So things like that are really important, and sometimes we don't know or realize that those things are actually a thing that's happening in our lives. So anyways.
So on that note, we thank you for joining us, because you could be anywhere, any place in the world, and you chose to spend your time with us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that.
And if you want to keep the convo going on nutrition, just visit my website, nourishmyheart.net.
Is there a way to reach out to you by email?
dfaith@nourishmyheart.net.
Say it one more time.
dfaith, D as in Diane, faith as in I have faith in God, at nourishmyheart.net. That's also my name, but that was an example anyway.
And also,
yes, and keep drinking your electrolytes, like Betty Veronica said.
And I can reach out at info@mrbadley.com. Hey, we appreciate you guys being here, and we thank you all. And please don't make me do stuff.
Yes, please don't make me do stuff. Jeanette, have a good night, have a good sleep, work tomorrow, and enjoy your vacation.
I'm Millennial.
I'm a Boomer.
And we do appreciate you guys all being here. And we thank you, and we say to you, have a good night.
Bye. Have a great week.
If I can figure out how to do that, there we go.
Thank you for listening to Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts. Millennial Boom and Reasons Why Aliens Will Never Invade Earth and Caught Misbehaving videos are made possible through viewer donations. Check out www.linktree.com/MrBadleyTV to see how you can help. See you next week.